Local elections have entered a decisive phase as official campaigning kicks off. With that, the National Election Commission has also stressed strict guidelines amid the intense campaigning period. And for more details, we have our political correspondent An Sung-jin with us in the studio today.
My pleasure as always, Soo-jin.
So Sung-jin, you've prepared 3 different keywords to go over the latest details regarding the campaign. So the first one being official campaigning. So as official campaigning has begun, what are some of the rules that the candidates must follow?
Indeed, Soo-jin, let's first start with that. Political parties kicked off their official election campaigns on May 21st. Election campaigning will continue up until June 2nd, one day before Election Day. Now, during this 13-day campaign period, candidates may deliver public speeches and hold debates between 7 a.m. and 11 p.m., though loudspeakers and megaphones will only be permitted until 9 p.m. Election authorities also reiterated strict regulations against election misinformation, especially the creation or distribution of deepfake campaign materials, which have been banned for 90 days before the vote. Spreading false information or defamatory posts about candidates on social media could also result in legal penalties. Now, with the local elections around 2 weeks away, we will continue to see political parties racing to win voters' ballots.
I see. Now let's look at the second keyword you have for us today, which is end of candidate registration. Can you tell us some of the noticeable points about this registration?
Right, so nearly 8,000 candidates registered for this local election and parliamentary by-elections, and among them, more than 500 are expected to secure victory uncontested. Now, according to the National Election Commission, roughly 13% of the electoral districts that only had a single registered candidate. This includes 3 heads of local governments and around 100 constituency-based Metropolitan Council members. This figure marks the second highest number of uncontested victories since local elections were introduced. However, the final figure could still shift if candidates withdraw before Election Day, but the unusually high number of automatic wins has already hinted at regional party dominance ahead of the June 3rd vote. Now, at the same time, the average candidate-to-seat ratio stood at 1.841 to 1, the lowest on record, slightly lower than the 2022 local elections when it was 1.843 to 1.
And the last keyword you have for us today is ballot printing, which also happened earlier this week. So can you tell us more about what this process entails?
Indeed, ballot printing for the local and parliamentary by-elections officially began on May 18th, effectively locking candidate names onto voting papers. This means that the first deadline has passed for rival camps to unify contenders in closely fought districts, since names are already on ballots, which could lead to split votes. For several competing regions, including the parliamentary by-elections for Busan Bukap District and Pyeongtaek-ul, this may signal that some parties will not be forthcoming with a unified candidate. Now, as the ballot printing process began, voters arriving at polling stations will receive up to 8 separate ballots for mayors and provincial governors, education superintendents, heads of local governments such as district chiefs and county governors, and in districts holding parliamentary by-elections, voters will receive 1 additional ballot. Now, to help avoid confusion, each ballot will be printed in a different color.
All right, so it looks like the next 2 weeks will be very busy for you at the National Assembly. So thank you so much for coming in today.
Thank you, Soo-jin.